Welcome to Behind the Crown Podcast with your hosts, Brian Hudson and Josh Griffin. Sit back and enjoy these great stories and memories of the Kingsmen Quartet.
Welcome to another great episode of Behind the Crown Podcast with your host, Brian Hudson and Josh Griffin. I am Brian Hudson. Josh, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing well, sir. Doing good. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well,
How
you're
about
looking
Brian?
good. You're
Yeah.
looking good with that. Either it's a peach shirt or a light pink, or it could be coral.
Yeah. Could
You
be
know?
cool. Yeah. I like
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for those who are watching us on YouTube, and those who are just listening, you'll have to go on YouTube and look and give us what
Yeah.
your thought is on the color of Josh's shirt. See,
Yes.
women know this kind of thing. They know, me and you would say pink, and they would say, oh no, that's they would give you the exact name of the
Right.
color. Anyway, it's a nice colored shirt. But
Yeah.
thank you for joining us on the podcast. This podcast is dedicated to the message, the men, and the music of the Mighty Kingsmen Quartet. And last week, Josh, we had Miss Wendi, who was the first woman on
Yes,
the
sir.
podcast. And
Yes.
she's
Yeah.
been the Kingsman secretary for many years. And I tell you what, she just a wealth of knowledge and just hilarious. Episode
Oh, yeah.
one was
Yes.
so funny. She had me in stitches the whole time. So
Yes. Me as well. Yes, sir.
well, before we get to part two of her interview, Josh, do we have a piece of useless information that we need to share with the world?
Yes, sir. Everyone has their own unique smell except for twins.
Oh,
Identical twins. Excuse me. Identical twins. Yeah.
okay.
How about that?
Well, since you're a twin, and some people may have forgotten, Josh,
Yeah.
that you are a twin.
Yes.
Now, to remind us, the people that do know, are you older or is Jess older?
She is older. Jessica is older than me by a minute. 1 minute.
By 1 minute. By
1
1
minute.
minute.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
She keeps me informed of that too. Yeah.
well, even if she was even if she was younger,
Yeah.
women have a tendency, and my wife is the most wonderful person I've ever known.
Yeah.
But they have a tendency to do their best to keep us in line. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yes, sir, they do. They like it too. Yeah, like doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, they really enjoy that, don't they? They really
Yeah.
enjoy doing that.
That's right.
Well, I have a piece of useless information, and believe it or not, Josh, this does not have anything to do with food.
Wow.
you
This
know,
may be the
normally-
second one that's not with food. Wow. Yeah.
I know. But this might help somebody.
Yeah.
Riding roller coasters
Mhm.
could help you pass a kidney stone.
Oh, okay.
I found that out. Riding a
Yeah.
roller coaster may help you pass a kidney stone. Now, Josh, thank the Lord, I have never been bothered by a kidney stone. Have you been bothered by kidney stones?
Believe it or not, I'm the only one in my family of 5, immediate family, that has not had a kidney stone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had them. My brother had a lot of them.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord, I've never had one, because they said basically especially when a man has a kidney stone, it's the equivalent of giving birth to a child.
Yeah.
That's what I have
just
heard.
rough. Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Josh, we talked about Wendi a little while already tonight. And like you said, she had a great episode last week.
Yes.
And, Wendy's been through a lot of health problems the last couple of years, and we've had her. In fact, we prayed for her on the podcast,
Yes.
and she's doing wonderful. And I know you've had some conversation with Wendi through Facebook Messenger and that type of thing, and office, calling the office, and but she's just a wonderful lady, and and to deal with Ray Dean and the Kingsmen, I mean, she's got to be up there nearly almost a saint.
Yeah, that's right. Getting that saint status. Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Had already guaranteed our mansion in heaven already, right? She ain't got to do nothing else, right?
I can see that. I can see that. I
Oh,
can see
goodness.
that.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, everybody sit back and enjoy our interview with Wendi Gregg and enjoy this episode. You're going to get a lot of great information, a lot of great stories. Enjoy.
Miss Wendi, what is your favorite thing about working for the Kingsmen?
There's so many. Ray and Brandon.
Yeah.
Working for Ray has been a joy. I mean, it really has. Um, Brandon has now taken over most of the inner workings of the group, and they are very different. And fortunately for me, I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
So, Brian, you'll appreciate this. Ray is a legal pad and a pencil,
Yeah.
and line by line wants to know every detail, every dot of an I, every T, every detail. And so I was used to these, long meetings with Ray and
Yeah.
discuss every little thing. Brandon is, hang on, it's on my phone, and it's up here with him.
Yes.
And he is completely different. So I went from these, long meetings and the legal pad and pencil to the telephone, to text messages. I
Yes.
texted Brandon last night and I told him 4 things in that text. And so I had this long paragraph
Yeah.
explaining this. And I get a text back from Brandon, okay, gone Wednesday. And smiley faces, like,
Yeah.
heck,
Yeah.
it's very different. I love I don't, talking to promoters, talking to people who have worked the Kingsmen for years, hearing some of their stories are really
Yeah.
neat. So I really appreciate doing that. My favorite thing is, maybe they come in on Monday and it's like, oh, hey, we had 2 people get saved at service yesterday, or we had rededications or whatever. And I had booked them in Conway. My parents,
Okay.
I had booked them there a couple, just maybe like a month and a half ago. And we went, and it was the pastor's dear family friend of ours. And so the Kingsmen are up there singing, and all of a sudden people start going to the altar. Well, it's not even that time yet.
Yeah.
The Kingsmen just roll with it. Allie just rolls with it and goes into a song that's perfect for that. And the altar fills, and people are up there crying and praying. And I'm like, this is fabulous. Well, they go back to their seats. Alan picks right up and comes right back into regular concert
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And he goes right back into an invitation. And lo and behold, that altar filled the second time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. I got to
Yeah.
stay and watch this because
Yeah.
I usually get to see it happen. And so that's just so cool to hear the stories of what happens in some of these services.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. That's neat. You talk about that memory there, but is there another special memory that comes to mind while working for the Kingsmen that you want to share?
One that's really deeply personal. Um, the night my husband passed away, they were loading the bus, and only like just blocks away, Brian, you know where the bus is and where Brandon lives. So, and that was where we were. And a phone call. I mean, it was almost midnight. And when I looked up at the clock, I said, the guys are leaving. And so my daughter called Ray, and in no time, he was there. And I keep trying to remember who came with him. I want to say maybe Jason Self and Brandon, but I'm not certain. And so, it's traumatic. Ambulance coming out of the house to the ambulance, and the whole time Ray's standing behind me. He's got his arms in front of me like this, and I'm watching over the top of his arms, and I hear Ray praying in my ear.
Wow.
And we knew he was gone. I mean, we knew in our heart, we knew. And just that support. And then immediately Ray said, do I need to stay with you?
Yeah.
And I said, no, because if he could talk right now, he'd tell you go sing for Jesus. So I won't do anything till you get back. And so Kingsman sang at his funeral. But yeah, personal stuff like that
Wow.
is and you know yourself.
Yes.
You and Brian talk about experiences with Ray when your dad died,
Yes.
seeing you through stuff like that. And
Absolutely.
that is incredibly supportive when,
Yeah.
when someone that you quote unquote work with
Yeah.
is that intuitive.
Well, Ray Dean is one of my favorite people in the whole world, and he I can totally see him doing that.
Mhm.
And he didn't do any of that for show. He did that because he
Yeah,
cared, and he
right.
still cares, and he's one of the greatest people ever. So,
Yeah.
well, and this next question is kind of going along with that same theme of Ray.
Hey friends, Alan Kendall with today's Kingsmen Quartet here. Mark your calendars for Friday, July the 10th, 2026, a very important day for the Kingsmen. We will be hosting our 70th anniversary hometown concert at Trinity Baptist Church in Asheville, North Carolina, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. We will be singing songs, both brand new and newly recorded, updated versions of Kingsmen hits from our 70th anniversary album, Still Jesus, which also drops to digital retailers that very same day. Then we'll have an extended second half where we will be singing all hits with an all-star Kingsmen cast. The present Kingsmen will be joined by several past members for an evening you will never forget. Now, there is no admission charge for this concert. This is a thank you to our fans. But you can reserve seats and name your own price in our Center 70 section by visiting our Facebook page. Information will be pinned at the top of the page with the link where you can reserve a place among the best seats in the sanctuary and at your own price. The demand for these seats is large, so act quickly. Hey, we'll see you in Asheville on July the 10th.
A lot of people, like you said, have Ray's stepped off the bus now, and he doesn't go all the time. He has trouble getting around a little bit. His legs, he told me his legs don't want to work as good as they used to. But how is it working for such an icon like Ray Dean Reese, the one and only Ray Reese?
Oh yeah, no, and of course we always go, "Oh, we know you're a legend," that kind of, but he is indeed a legend. But the ironic part was I never saw him that way
Yeah.
because, I mean, I met him, I saw one concert before we all became friends, and
Yeah.
then it became we were just all friends.
Yeah.
And so it was doing stuff, here in Asheville with him and Carolyn. It wasn't off concerts and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I was around. I mean, we did Christmases with them, we did Easters, we did Mother's Day, we did all of these things together. So it was he. We laugh because it's hard to describe our relationship. Our, friend, boss, second dad, because Ray
Yeah.
adopts you when you work for him.
Yes. Yeah. He
And
does. He does.
and freely gives his love, his advice, his paternal perspective on how things ought to
Yes.
be and how you ought to handle things. And so um, that's kind of the prism I saw him through. I
Yeah.
didn't really, and to this day, I don't really. I this may sound bad, but I'm not in awe of the job that he
Yeah.
has.
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
more appreciative of the person he is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I know you can understand that. But we've survived, sometimes we go, man, have we been through it? And, we talk about, bus fires and insurance claims and hurricanes that destroyed our office.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
we've both had cancer, we've both lost spouses,
Yeah.
there's all these family issues and things that we've gone through. And obviously, because we were at the office, these things all got talked about.
Yeah.
And so, we've kind of been through a lot of stuff.
You sure have. You sure have.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and everything in between,
Yeah.
So,
Well, do you have a funny Ray Reese story of something maybe happened at the office?
my husband's up in the loft, and I just heard him bust out laughing. So It's not a Ray Reese story in of what he did, but what we did to him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you've heard this, and I may not work for the Kingsmen starting tomorrow morning.
We got you back. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
So years ago, Carolyn and I were at the office, and I had this collection, and I don't even know where it came from, and it was just like stupid stationery with funny letterheads.
Okay.
And there was this one piece of paper letterhead, and it had a matching envelope, and on the corner of each was the imprint of red lipstick, like raised
Okay.
lips,
Okay.
Yeah.
just lips, nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I was cleaning out my desk or what, and I must have said, "What are we gonna do with this?" And I don't even know how we came up with this idea. It's kind of Flip Wilson, the devil made you do it. But we came up with this absolutely horrible idea.
Okay.
So we looked at the schedule, and the Kingsmen were going to be in Nashville, Tennessee on a certain Friday night.
Okay.
And so we sent a confirmation letter on that letterhead for a late arrival appointment for Ray Dean at let's say, a house of less repute. And I hope you get that. And it went into detail about
Oh my word.
late arrival time, explaining that all anonymity would be observed, giving a back entrance street, and just all kind of detail.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
And then we sealed it, and we sent it to somebody in Nashville.
Okay.
And if that person who mailed it with the Nashville postmark wants to admit to it, they'll have to just do it.
Okay. Okay.
But she put it in the mail for us, so it would have a Nashville postmark.
Okay.
So the next week, we're holding our breath, and we're like, "It's coming, it's coming." So we always took turns. Whoever could go to the post office went.
Yeah.
And so we made sure that we were so busy that next week that we couldn't go.
Yeah. You couldn't go.
No, couldn't make it. So Ray takes off for the post office, and we're just like, "Is it today?" And we're just like waiting, and he just didn't come back and didn't come back and didn't come back. And we're like, "This is like a 10-minute trip here."
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, that back door opened, and he comes walking in the office, and I'm at one end of the office as it was then. I was at
Yeah.
one end, and Carolyn and his wife was down at the other end. And he comes in the door, and he stops, and he says, I got an envelope here. I'll show you. He's going, "Now, girls, you need to listen to me." And we're like, "What?" And he says, "I want you to know that I had nothing to do with this. And I don't know what we need to do about it, but we got to do something." And we're like, "What is it?" We're acting all innocent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Innocent.
Face Carolyn, and I'm like laying on my desk laughing. And then I'd have to straighten up real quick and go, "What is it?"
Yeah.
So she says, "Well, how to tell me what it is?" He said, now, Carolyn, you need to understand I had nothing to do with this." And I said, "Ray, what is it?" And he said, so he pulls out the letter.
Yeah.
And piece of paper, and he goes, he's standing there, and that paper's doing this. Red in the face. And he goes, "I had nothing to do with this."
Oh no.
Said. So she looks at it, and she kind of, "Well, Ray, there's a credit card number on this. Does that match your credit card number?"
Uh-oh.
No, it can't. So he pulls out his credit card number, and it matches.
Oh.
And he's like, he is so mortified, he doesn't know what to do. And who else knows about this? Where did this come from? And I said, "Well, wait, when is this for?" So, "Well, it's for this date." He reads me off the date, and I'm looking at my book. I said, "Ray, you're in Nashville that Friday night." I mean,
Oh my word.
who else could have done this but you?
Uh-oh.
Oh. So then he goes in his office and he is just ranting and raving. And I'm going to call back. This is fraud. And he's just all to pieces. We let him go on. Wendy, what's the number to the bank? So we let him go all the way to calling the fraud department at the bank before we stopped.
Oh, my word.
Oh,
He said, that's the best thing.
I
ever
mean,
done."
that was the most detailed prank I've ever heard.
yeah.
It was perfect. And
Wow.
the clincher, though, was when that postmark said Nashville and that credit card matched.
Yes.
It matched. And there was no, I said, who would know about all these details? Nobody
Yeah.
would know that. Rady, you give your credit card to anybody else? No. And I mean, it was on. So that's my favorite Ray Reese story.
That might be the greatest Ray Reese story.
I'm telling you, yeah.
I
Yeah.
would love to
There's
be in
got a
that
half a dozen
office.
people to know that.
And how you and Carolyn kept a straight face. I mean, come on, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd had days to absorb and
Yeah.
think how we were going to respond, and we were playing off of each other because when we could see the other one starting to lose it,
Yeah.
we would be like I'd say, "Well, Ray, you're going to be in. Looky here, you're going to be in Nashville that night," and that gave her laugh time on her end of the office. But
Yeah.
Oh, that is classic. That is classic. Well, speaking of Ray,
Wow.
I've got 2 pair of glasses here, and I want to show now
Yes.
the people that are listening to this on Spotify or the other one that don't watch that they won't be able to enjoy this. But Ray Dean, he wears 2 pair of glasses. He wears his regular glasses, and then he wears readers. And this is what it looks like for people who's gonna be watching this on YouTube. He'll wear a pair up here, and then he puts a pair right here.
Yeah.
So when he's reading, he's got 2 pair of glasses on. And I mean, Josh, tell the
Yeah.
story about how first time you saw that.
Yeah. It had to be spring of 2008. Kingsmen were over in Albany, Georgia, and Brian was with the guys, just come back with the guys and had been with long. So the lineup was Brian Hudson, Philip Hughes, Harold Reed, and Ray Dean Reese, and Cody McVeigh, I believe, was there as well at that time. And of course, Brandon. And after the concert, Brian said, "Hey, you ever been on the Kings bus?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "You want to go?" I said, "Yeah, I want to go." So he said, "Let me double check, make sure it's all right." So it was okay. So I come up on the bus, and lo and behold, up there in the bus, in the same bus they're in now, there's a table right there at the front on the left-hand side, I believe.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing Ray Dean Reese, the legend, sitting there looking, I guess, at the
With
date
2 pair of
books.
glasses on.
Yeah, with 2 pair of glasses just like that. He looked up and spoke to me, and I was like, "What in the world?" Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great. Wendy, that could be the best Ray Reese story we've ever heard
Yes.
on the podcast. So
Yeah.
Good.
that's
The only girl gave the best story.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The first girl and the best Ray Reese story for sure.
As Brian
That
Hudson
is
say,
great.
full-time prankster right there.
Full time.
You and Miss
And,
Carolyn, yeah.
if you go into that much detail
I'm
telling
telling
a
you.
prank, you are officially full time. Full time.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll have to get a fancy jacket for that.
That's right.
Yeah.
You need a fancy jacket for that.
Now, let me mention this too as well. About that same time in 2008 or 2009, maybe, the Kingsmen were in Fitzgerald, Georgia, here in my hometown at Arbor Baptist Church. And it was April Fool's Day, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
And somebody had put Ray Dean's number on Craigslist saying that he sold turkey manure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He said he got a bunch of phone calls. Brian was telling me about that. Yeah.
His phone. Yeah, somebody put Ray's number on Craigslist and said for turkey manure, and his
Yeah.
phone was blowing up all day. Hello, no, I don't. What are you talking about, turkey manure? And then as soon as he got hung up, there's somebody else be calling him, and they were blowing his phone up for like at least 2 days for turkey manure. So.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I didn't hear that one. So now
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Now, let
great.
me clarify that. I told y'all the wrong year. I apologize. Cody McVeigh was there, but it was Harold Reed, Brian, Randy
Okay.
Crawford, Ray Dean.
Yeah,
and
that
Brandon.
sounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
They
was
were
fun.
blowing his phone up, turkey manure.
that's hilarious.
And as soon as he'd hang it up, somebody else would be calling him. He
Yeah.
kept saying, "People keep calling me for turkey manure. I don't know what they're talking about."
Oh, man.
What? Yeah.
Oh,
That is
goodness.
great. That is great.
Mhm.
Goodness. So, Miss Wendy, you talked about working with Ray Dean Reese and working for the Kingsmen in their office, doing a great job there. But do you have a hidden talent that gospel music fans would know about?
I don't know how much you call it talent. I know what I enjoy, and I like. Well, now that that's been mentioned, I love like doing calligraphy art. I
And
love.
you do great at that,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah,
Thank you.
That's so
And
beautiful.
so I like to paint,
yeah.
and so if I can combine those two things, do a painting with calligraphy on top, that I love doing that. I like all kinds of crafts and things. Um, one thing a lot of people don't know about me is that my home life and my Kingsman life are like night and day opposite.
Okay.
Um, I live in a we live in a 130-year-old log cabin that my husband's grandparents built when they got married
Wow.
in the
Yeah.
late 1800s. And so when I get home, it's over. And I'm like t-shirt, blue jeans,
Yeah.
the shoes,
You're a
flip-flops,
homebody. You're a
hair
homebody.
up in a bun, and we garden, we can. We like antiques, because we live amongst them, and, so we go to a lot of auctions and that kinda thing,
Okay.
and, yeah, we have a night and day different home life. Um, I I hate cooking. So
You
that's
hate
not my
cooking.
talent. I hate cooking. So fortunately for me, that authentic mountain man that I married knows how to cook old time.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Kingsman alumni Randy Crawford. Thanks for supporting the Behind the Crown podcast.
Our home was in line with Hurricane Helene,
Yeah.
and we're still dealing with our bridge is still out. We still
Wow.
don't have the water supply that we need. Um, things are being worked on, and our property doesn't look anything like it looked before Hurricane Helene, but we're slowly getting back to it. And so my home time is really like you would never people wouldn't believe my job versus where I live.
Yeah.
Day different. When I'm home, it's country time around here.
Yeah.
And I can totally relate to that. Yvonne made fun of me. She said, when you get home from like even going to the store, she said, you put on different clothes like you're a homeless person. I said, well,
Yeah,
yeah, I do. I
yeah,
said, of course, and I'm that weird person that if I'm outside, it's the summer, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. When I
yeah,
come inside, I freeze. So I've got to put
yeah,
long pants on. I've got a hooded sweatshirt on or a hooded jacket. And I've got shoes and socks on in the house because I'm so cold. So, but
yeah,
when I come in, I mean, I'm a homebody, and maybe
yeah.
it's my years of just being gone for
It
days and days at
probably
a time.
and I know with me, um, my husband has learned that if we're gonna do something on a day that I actually go to the office, I work from home more than I used to, a lot
Okay.
more than I used to, and, that was a Brandon thing,
Yeah.
and so, but if I work at that office like yesterday, he knows if we're gonna go anywhere for dinner, he has to meet me there because if I ever walk in this door,
Oh, you're not
it's
going back out.
I ain't going back there. I might go to the front porch.
Yeah.
I might go to the patio, but I am not going back out anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can relate to that. I
yeah,
can relate to
yeah.
that.
And like Yvonne, I'm sure Robin thinks he's very homeless
Oh,
person
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Uh,
Goodness. Miss Wendy, most folks that are fans of the Kingsmen know that you've had some major health issues lately. Uh, Thankfully, thank the good Lord you're doing better. But how are you doing these days?
well, I had a test this morning, and if anybody wants to pray for that, they're more
Yeah.
than welcome to. We'll get results in a couple of weeks. But I had breast cancer back in 2008. And I think in the back of your mind, when you have cancer, you think, okay, well, I had my round with it and I had
Yeah.
fought my battle with it and it's over.
Yeah.
And so last year in February, we were like, something's wrong here. And so by March, they told me that I had bladder cancer. We did a surgery that was supposed to fix everything. And
Yeah.
when I woke up from surgery, it was, no, it's not fixed, and it's way worse than anybody even could have foreseen. So they scheduled a very major surgery um, in August, and everybody prayed because they knew I wasn't going to make it to August the way
Yeah.
things were going. And I got a phone call um, the last week of April, so 1 year ago this week. I got a
Yeah.
phone. I say I was on holy ground, and that's why I got the phone call, 'cause I was at Chick-fil-A at the drive-up. But they said, "Can you be here May 5th?" And I was like, "I could be there in 45 minutes."
Yes. Yeah.
So we had the surgery. It was traumatic, to say the least. But then we had a complication in June, and then we had a major complication 4th of July weekend, where, I mean, I was minutes from literally from being gone. I
Yeah.
mean, poor husband prayed over me that if this wasn't going to stop right then, to take me home.
Wow.
And, but we got through all that. We had 3 surgeries in about 5 months, and then it was like we came home from that. I stayed at my daughter's a lot. My daughter Betsy, I think you know her,
Yeah.
and I stayed at her house for a lot of my recovery time because it was 24/7 care.
Yeah.
And so in the midst of all of that, my mom suddenly passed away, and I couldn't even get out of bed. So my daughter, she took off for Conway, and for 5 days handled everything. She was my arm, my leg,
Yeah.
everything. And thank the Lord for FaceTime.
Yeah.
I was able to, and then they did the service and put it on live stream so I could watch.
Yeah.
And so, it was a very, very bad 2025. But sometime around into September, 1st of October, it's like that feeling where you wake up one day and think, "No, I may make it."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like just in a matter of a couple of days, it was like everything shifted.
Wow.
And so my explanation for the fact that I'm still here is but God
Yes.
all the way. Him,
Yeah.
my husband, um, and my daughter. It was 24/7 care by one of them, and it was really, really, really bad, really bad.
Wow.
But I'm still here. Now,
Yes.
I want to say one thing with that, and there was a particular test that I had to have, and it was traumatic, and I was crying, and I was upset, and I got in for the test, and obviously the technicians and everybody, they were trying to calm me down and make me, you know,
Yeah.
try to help. So they asked me, "What kind of music do you like?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I like gospel." And they said, "Okay." So she handed me some headphones, and I put them on, and I'm crying, and upset. Okay, just in your head, think how many Southern gospel groups are out there in this
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
and then think, multiply it by however many projects they recorded and how many
Yes.
songs are on all those projects. So I'm laying there bawling, and I hear 3 notes, and I know it's the Kingsmen,
Wow.
Mhm.
it's Brian singing,
Yeah.
and it's the song, "That's All I Need."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was as if that song was written for me. It was,
Yeah.
He dries every tear I cry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Answers when I ask why. But
Yep.
in lines that, closer than a brother's been, and of course,
Yeah.
I that just grabs me. And then do not doubt that he will prevail. I've seen him
Yes.
do. And then I'm really crying. And I mean, I'm bawling, but by then I'm just like all but floating above the chest. And
Yeah.
I could not wait to get out of that hospital and get to our vehicle and call Brian
Yeah.
and tell him.
Yeah.
And I remember what Brian said. He'd had a bad week.
Yeah. I did.
And you told me that, you needed to hear that as much as I needed it to happen to me.
Yes.
And that's what's so cool. Brian needed the assurance that, God's still using your music.
Yes.
That song was from a project in 2011, and here we
Yeah.
are years later, and it's exactly the song that they put on for me to listen to.
Yes.
And I mean, and they didn't know. They just put a random playlist, here,
Yeah.
here's music. And of
Yeah.
all the songs to come out of those headphones, I was just like, I could not believe it.
Yeah.
And so it was just absolute proof positive to me that
Yeah.
God was hearing our prayers,
Yes.
that I was
Yeah.
still in his hands, that
Yes.
still using Brian, thank
Yeah.
Lord. And
Yeah.
and I don't even know how long that song was written before you actually recorded it. So God put that song in some writer's heart.
Yes.
It's going to fit for you, and then turn around and be played exactly. And that's what I love about this music. It's timeless.
Yes.
It's
Well,
timeless.
Joseph Habedank wrote that song.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what's so wild about that, so many groups, Wendy, had passed on that song. He handed me the CD at the Quartet convention. He said, "Here's some songs on here." He said, these songs have been passed around, and everybody has passed on these songs. And then, I heard that song, That's All I Need. He's everything I need. And I said, how did these groups not hear
Yeah.
this song?
Yeah.
How did they pass on this?
Yeah.
And it just
Exactly.
goes to show you that was ordained from the beginning of time, that God was going to use that song to minister to your heart. And, those kind of things aren't coincidence.
No.
Those are God moments. Those are God moments. Wow.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. And I remember when you called me, I was in line to pick up my oldest granddaughter from school that day. And that was just such a blessing to me. So,
Yes. Yeah.
woo! Okay.
Great story.
Oh.
Yes. Good job.
That
Yes.
was good. That was good.
Great. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Well, any special memories or thoughts on the legend himself, Big Jim Hamill? I know you probably have. Hamill was a unique individual. So.
Oh yeah, you either loved him or you didn't.
Right.
And I don't think people understood how. I think Ray has said this 1,000 times, and it's true that every decision he made, everything he did was for the Kingsmen.
Yes.
He put himself on the line personally, for whatever they needed.
Yes.
My favorite song, though, and some of your old fans will have to pull this out of the hat.
Okay.
Late 60s, early 70s, and it's the most 60s, 70s music. I mean, it was the true hippie style music.
Okay.
And they did Put Your Hand in the Hand of the Man.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
And-
Great album. Yeah.
I can't remember what project it was on, but we were playing old records in the office one day, and I picked that one and put it on, and that song came on, and you gotta listen to it. And in the song, Hamill just for some reason just in the middle of this song went, ugh. I mean, I guess it was the time or something, and
Yeah.
oh, it was the mental picture listening to that album of him going, just killed me. So we called him. Me and Carolyn and Ray, we got in Ray's office and we called him and told him what we were listening to. And he just laughed. He thought that was so funny. We were still listening to that. But for the rest of his life, every time he laid eyes on me, he'd look at me and go, ugh. And it just killed me. And I'd just be in stitches and nobody else knowing what's going on.
Yeah. Nobody else would get it.
Nobody.
That's funny.
So that's my favorite Hamill.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard that version. I'm going to have to find that, Josh. I'm sure
find it.
Kingsman fan number one right there. I'm sure he knows what he'll look it up.
Yeah.
I don't think I know what record that's on.
Yeah.
It's worth the listen. And the music is the real 60s.
I can just about imagine. I can about imagine.
I'm gonna have to find that now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find that, Josh. We may have to tack that in.
Put your hand in the hand of the man who steals the water. Put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the sea. Take a look at yourself, and you can look at others differently. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. Yeah, every time I look into the holy book, I gotta tremble. When I read about the part where the carpenter cleared out the temple. For the buyers and the sellers were no different fellows than what I profess to be. Great goodness, it causes me shame to know that I'm not the man that I should be. Mama taught me how to pray before I reached the age of 7. And when I'm down on my knees, that's when I'm close to heaven. Daddy lived his life with 2 kids and a wife. He did what he could do, and he showed me enough of what it takes to get me through.
That'd be really cool.
Right.
Okay.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
That would be good. That'd be good, Josh. Do you have any special memories or thoughts about one of my heroes, the little giant, Ernie Phillips?
You know, I came after the Ernie years, but he came back,
Yeah, I'm filled in. Yeah.
and so I kinda, I mean, of course, I knew him, but, um, that little period of time where he came back kinda gave me a glimpse into
Yeah.
what those years had been like, and, oh, he's just fabulous. Every superlative you have ever heard about Ernie Phillips,
Yeah.
it's an understatement of what
Yeah.
he's really like. Um, we are put here on this earth to glorify the Lord,
Yeah.
and Ernie took that commission and exemplified
Yes.
our purpose.
Yeah.
And that's the best. He was a what do they call him, Gentle Giant or something?
Yes. Yes.
And he was truly a genuine gentleman.
Yeah.
That's the best I can say about him.
Yeah. I loved Ernie Phillips. He was one of my favorite all time people. And not only was he such a great singer, in my opinion, and he was my Kingsman tenor, but when I got to meet him,
Yeah.
and
Made it
got
all
to know him
better.
as, oh my gosh, he
Yeah.
was, he, and then I realized why so many people loved him. I mean, he was
Yeah.
so loved in gospel music, and people just love him. And I, and he's,
Absolutely.
and he's one of those few people that I've not heard any bad thing about ever. So
No,
he was just
no,
wonderful.
no. And I live in his hometown. Not one negative word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
And that's hard to believe in the day and time we live in. Well,
Yes.
we have talked about Miss Carolyn a few times, and we discovered you and Miss Carolyn were the ultimate pranksters. I mean, with
Yeah.
that story about Ray. But you guys were not only worked in the office together, but you were close friends. And she passed away a few years ago, and she was such a backbone of the Kingsmen. And she idolized Ray Dean Reese. She worshiped the ground he walked on, and I know he did as well. Worshipped her too, and just loved her. But do you have any special memories or thoughts on Miss Carolyn you want to share?
Wow. My best friend, and I miss her every single day.
Yeah.
There was really nothing that we couldn't talk about.
Mm.
That we, I mean, we got along great. We, but we were pranksters. We did trouble a lot, and the funny part is, after she passed away, Ray asked me. He said, "Can you explain to me what took you and her Monday through Thursday, nearly all day, to keep this office running? And now you basically handle it in 2 afternoons and drag work around with you. How did that work?" And I just looked at him, and he said, "I know." And he said, he said, what was important to me was that y'all were having fun. As
Yes. Yeah.
long as I saw you and her were having a good time,
Yeah.
I didn't care what it cost. I didn't care what the hours were. I
Yeah.
didn't care what y'all did. Y'all were happy. And so that was kind of his theory for putting up with us. But we got in
Yeah.
a lot of trouble because you can't put two blondes together and not have excitement. And so I could tell you 20 stories, but I have favorites. I do have to tell you that there was at one point to point out that we were blondes together was she wanted to know, she read an article in the paper that said that there was a lady in Biltmore Park that wanted the township of Biltmore to move the deer crossing sign from in front of her house because deer kept getting killed there in front of her house. Y'all following that?
I'm following. Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible.
Carolyn wanted to know, well, are they going to move it? So then it comes out that
Yeah.
I had wanted to know, why would they put a deer crossing sign on the interstate where deer can get killed right there in the middle of the interstate? So it came out that two blondes.
Yeah.
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 And so it became this big joke about the deer and the deer crossing signs. And so
Goodness.
that year for Christmas, once we understood the
Yeah.
whole situation, I had found her a pin. It was a gold pin, and it was the deer, jumping,
Yeah.
and it had like gemstones all over it. And so when she passed away, Ray gave me the pin back, and so I still
Wow.
wear it at Christmas. But yeah, so we get two blondes that don't understand. We didn't get critters. We didn't understand critters. Um, Most of our trouble we got into were at the NQC or on the road of going to the NQC. Those seem to be the times we got into most trouble. This one time, and this is one of my favorite memories of her, and people didn't realize how funny she could be.
Oh yeah. Hilarious.
Going to the Quartet Convention, it was late at night. I think we had both worked all day. This is before I came to the office, so I
Okay.
was in a family, and we were on the road, and it was kind of a weird weather night. And
Okay.
you know how when you're on the interstate and maybe headlights are coming at you from the other direction, if there's something in between you, it does weird silhouettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're kind of trying to figure out, well, what's that I'm looking at? Well, I'd lived in the Midwest, and so I'm driving her car thinking, and she's over there talking, and we're going down the road, and all of a sudden I said, what is that? And Carol said, what? And I said, look at that. So I'm doing this, and I'm looking, and I go, Carolyn, that's a tornado. And it
Oh.
wasn't a big, it wasn't no F5, but it was
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
a little tornado, and it's coming at us. And because of the headlights of the car way off in the distance, I could see this thing kind of dancing at us.
Oh.
Whoa.
Well, thank the Lord, there was a big open field to the right of us. Now, of course, I didn't know that because it's pitch dark,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I took that car off side the road because it
Yeah.
was coming right at us, and there was no way I could stop, so I
Yeah.
kept going, and I took it off road. We get back on the road, and Carolyn's over there, and she's all about hyperventilating, and I'm just going, "Can you just saw that?" And I'm fascinated by tornadoes. So the first words out of my mouth were, "Man, I wish I could have seen that better." And I didn't get the words out of my mouth, and Carolyn grabbed hold of the dash. She slid down into the floor of the car, looks up through the windshield, and goes, "Lord, she did not mean that." So-
Oh man.
so I'll tell you one more, then I'm done with those. Um, Gosh, this is hard because there's two in my head. Um, she had a dress that she had worn one time, black dress. She was going to wear it to the Quartet convention, so she ran it to the dry cleaners, brought it back,
Yeah.
and we never opened the package to see
Okay.
how it looked. So we get to the Quartet convention, and we're getting dressed that whatever night it was that she was going to wear that dress. And I'm, doing makeup and hair, and she's doing her thing. And all of a sudden, I hear her scream, "What is wrong?"
Yeah.
I turn around and look, and this dress had a waistline that was now like up here. And the dress that was around her ankles was now like almost a mini dress. And she's going, it's shame.
Oh,
Dude. Well, about that time, the guys come in. So Ray gets this great idea that we're going to each take hold one handful at the bottom of that dress, and we're going to stretch it.
okay.
I told her to lay down on the bed, and we would stretch it. So Carolyn lays down on the bed. We each get a hold of the bottom, and Ray says 1, 2, 3. Well, what we forgot was that the dress was of a satiny kind of material, and she was laying on a bedspread that was kind of satiny.
Yeah.
And when we pulled, she shot out across the room, kind of levitated, and then dropped to the floor about 10 feet beyond the end of the bed. And I thought she was crying because I see her doing this.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, we have killed Carolyn.
Yeah.
So I running over to her, and I look down at her, and she's laughing. And she goes, it takes a village.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
my
I
God.
could go on and on and on and on forever telling funny stories. But yeah, we got in a lot of trouble, but Ray put up with us a lot. He just kind of let us be.
That is great.
This has been a great episode, Miss Wendi. We appreciate you coming on and being our guest on Behind the Crown podcast. Now, we appreciate you doing that.
You're welcome. I'm enjoying it.
We've been looking forward to having you on here for
Yes.
several weeks, and thank you for sharing your source. Thank you for what you do for Ray, and thank you for what you do for the Kingsmen, and you keep everything straight. I have memories of going in the office, and Ray having you write down things like routing for like when the group was going to go on. He'd rattle off this highway here, and you're writing it all down, and he wouldn't use he wouldn't use GPS, so he'd get the atlas. He'd get that random alley atlas, and he would be giving you the route number. Oh, here you get on, and you're writing it all down. I have vivid memories of those moments.
I'm so thankful for Daniel. Daniel sends me the directions every week now, and I just put them in the itinerary book that I do for the guys, and it makes it a whole lot easier on me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Ray never trusted the GPS, and he always was like, "There's got to be a better way." And and of course, some of the places you guys would go to, like in West Virginia and stuff.
Yeah.
He would just look at me and go, "We can't get there from here," And,
You can't get there from there.
figure it out, And
Oh,
we're like,
yeah.
I'll tell you how this is going to go.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, lots of good memories.
That's great.
Oh,
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, and we've had a blast with you. And like I said, we'll have you back again sometime, and you can share some more stories. And I found out something tonight, Josh, that her and Miss Carolyn were the ultimate pranksters.
I'm telling you,
that was possibly the greatest Ray Reese story of all time, right there. So.
That's right. That's right.
That was great. Oh, this has been another great episode of Behind the Crown podcast. Be sure to like and follow Behind the Crown podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And then also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Behind the Crown podcast on YouTube. And then also you can be sure to listen to each episode every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and all major podcast streaming platforms.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Behind the Crown podcast with your hosts, Brian Hudson and Josh Griffin. If you would, please like, rate, and share this episode. Join us again for another episode of the Behind the Crown podcast.